Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about what is coming after TikTok. So as you guys all know, TikTok has an expiration date in the United States of January 19th, unless President Trump miraculously turns things around and decides that it can stay, ultimately sells it to a business that's based in the United States, so that way there can be some kickbacks and back scratching and things like that. Y'all know how it works. This is how it works in the United States. If it doesn't financially benefit us, what are we even doing? So what's going to happen after TikTok? A lot of people are saying LinkedIn, namely Business Insider. They just hold an article about LinkedIn and LinkedIn video and how it's starting to do more short form content. And I want to get into that because it is a treasure trove of quotable things that I feel like we all need to be paying attention to. Yes, maybe LinkedIn has a chance to pick up, but I have some opinions and I'll get into that here in just a little bit. Before I show you the Business Insider article, we're going to go through it in detail, and it's great. I want to show you this. This is amazing. So Elon Musk, over the last number of weeks, has been basically pooping all over LinkedIn. He doesn't like it. I thought this was hilarious. I instantly lose respect for anyone who posts on LinkedIn. Unbearably cringe. He said something else on LinkedIn. I actually made a post about it on LinkedIn to see what people would say. He says, deleted my LinkedIn, F it. And he says, free yourself. And then you got a whole bunch of people in the comments here who are like, I'm announcing that I'm leaving on LinkedIn. Linked out. So clever. I'm free. One like and I'll delete mine. This guy gets 1,700 likes. Anyway, ended up getting 8,400 impressions and 42 comments. And the comments were kind of a mixed bag. There are a lot of people who are like kind of nasty about it. And then there were a lot of people who just found it kind of interesting. This guy right here, Cyan Cooper, more like the end of Twitter, he really showed him. This is funny. I had some lady came on and said some like really nasty things. And I was like, bro, are you okay? And then she dipped and immediately deleted her post, like multiple posts. It was like, blah, 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 blah. I was like, wow, this gal's got something else going on in her life. But we're not here to talk necessarily about Elon Musk or what he may or may not think of LinkedIn. We're here to talk about LinkedIn and the future and what is happening with short form video. Is it going to be a good idea for you guys to start posting your shorts over on LinkedIn? Let's get into what Business Insider has to say. So Business Insider just released this article today. LinkedIn influencers say they're seeing big engagement boosts by posting TikTok-like videos. Okay, so first things first, there's a couple of different outlier comments here from people who are interviewed by Business Insider. This one specifically here, Meghana Dar, a creator with 15,000 LinkedIn followers, said her LinkedIn engagement has just exploded since she started posting videos. She added that LinkedIn moving toward video indicates they're taking creators really seriously. So this has actually been one of the problems that I've seen with LinkedIn since the beginning, is that almost always been more of a business networking platform as opposed to a social media content creator platform. In reality, the people who are doing the best on LinkedIn are either famous somewhere else, like founders of companies famous somewhere else. Gary Vaynerchuk has a huge presence over there. A lot of like big business leaders have big presences on LinkedIn, or they're people who are teaching how to be successful on LinkedIn. And so they have grown huge followings and they're LinkedIn influencers that teach you how to blow up on LinkedIn. I haven't seen a whole lot of like just rando people explode and get like 1 million followers on LinkedIn just for doing something cool. You've got to be a successful CEO in order to grab that clout. So when somebody like this, who has 15,000 LinkedIn followers, says that video is taking off, I take it seriously, but there's a caveat to that. So listen to this. Dar said, for example, a recent text post that she shared on LinkedIn got about 10,000 impressions, while a video of her talking to the camera hit over 2 million impressions, which seems like a massive leap, because if we go back to my post here, one right here, this one only got 8,400 impressions. So for me to get 2 million impressions would be like, okay, this is going to be a viral post, right? That's what I want to believe. But then you read this other person, Caroline Gilfinch, found that her LinkedIn video post reached 3 times as many people. So not going from 10,000 to 2 million, but like 10,000 to 30,000, which still is a significant increase. But is it enough for us to really be like, okay, I'm going to stop posting on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram and start posting over here on LinkedIn? I'll let you determine that. All right, so here's the real kicker. This is what I was like, this is what I was hoping for. I want to hear from a LinkedIn spokesperson. So here's what the spokesperson said. A LinkedIn spokesperson said video posts, including videos shared from individual profiles and pages, get 1.4 times as much engagement on average as other posts on LinkedIn. So it's not a very significant increase. So my guess here is that Meghana Dar just ended up posting a really successful video that if she would have made it a text post, probably had just as much of an opportunity to do very well as her video post did. So if LinkedIn's like, hey, 1.4 times more likely, that's still like significant, but it's not 10,000 to 2 million. Hey, I'm Scott, or Uncle Raph, as some people know me. I talk about things that are happening in the creator economy that you might want to be aware of so that way you can benefit from them or avoid them as you're moving forward on your content creation journey. We work specifically with business owner content creators, people who want to use YouTube to grow their business or sell a product or a service. So if that sounds like you, I've got a link down in the description below where you can watch a short video about what we do, some of the people that we help, and see if it's a good fit for you. All right, clicky click right down there. Also got some free resources, stuff like that down there. So clicky clack. All right, community manager on LinkedIn, Jamie Jackson. She says, I'm on a personal mission to make LinkedIn a daily habit for people. Holy... What? Like, this in and of itself kind of proves to me that LinkedIn is like 15 years behind every other social media platform. It's like when Facebook first became a thing, I could see where they're like, hey, we want people to come back, every couple of days to check in, see if they can get a date, at the University of Harvard or Yale or wherever the Ivy Leaguers are. And if they come back, a couple times a week, that's great. Now it's like the platforms don't want people to leave. So for Jamie Jackson to say, I'm on a personal mission to make LinkedIn a daily habit for people is kind of like a century behind everybody else. Jamie Jackson should focus on how to get people not leave. Like, she should be thinking about things that are like, I want people to stay forever. Dude, doesn't that just sound miserable in a business networking meeting where everybody's putting on a show for forever? Oh, all right. And she says, we're so much more than just a platform for job searching. Oh man, you guys, I've talked about LinkedIn before. My biggest problem with LinkedIn is you got HR departments who are like right here, right behind you. They're like that meme where there's that guy, that the wrestler is like staring over the shoulder of the guy. That's how HR departments are looking at LinkedIn. And so if you're on there as part of a business, you're very careful about everything that you say. You're also throwing your pronouns in your bios. I saw something like 60% of people have their pronouns in their bios. So moving on. This isn't LinkedIn's first attempt at video. In 2019, LinkedIn launched its live video product. Been there, done that. It actually was really cool for like 2 months. If you did live video on LinkedIn, you get like 100 people on your live stream and not very many people. Like it wasn't just people who are like following you either. It was pretty cool. You could have a low follower count and get high video views. It was awesome. And then that stopped. Now if you go live on LinkedIn, you get like 2 views. You get like 2 consecutive people. It's weird. And then 2020, they launched Stories, which actually I thought was pretty cool. I really like using stories on LinkedIn. That's where I've actually got a lot of business from stories. That's where I keep up and people kind of get that like daily video journal or that daily story journal where I don't have to feel like it's clogging up my main feed. So stories was pretty cool, but they discontinued that just a year later. All right, guys, now let's talk about the do's and don'ts for video on LinkedIn. And again, this is going to be kind of proof in the pudding as to why I believe that LinkedIn is like 8,000 years behind every other social platform. Listen to the advice here. It is so dialed in, so incredible. It's so amazing that it's like stepping into a time machine back to 2012. Jackson says, to avoid creating content that feels way too salesy and promotional. Are we dumb? Like, who creates salesy and promotional content anymore on any platform? If you go onto Facebook and you say, hey, would anybody like to buy my t-shirts, whatever, like that's not going to get any impressions. That's not going to get any views. The algorithm is smart enough to be like, yeah, this ain't going to get no engagement, so we're not going to push it out there. What? Like the advice from a community manager is don't make it too salesy and promotional. Okay. Yeah, so you can tell that she hasn't ever been a content creator and that she's not talking to anybody who is a content creator, because every content creator on the planet knows that you don't make things promotional or salesy. You evoke curiosity and then drive clicks to your profile or to your links through curiosity gaps, right? It's kind of like when I use a whole bunch of microhooks in my content, I get a whole lot longer audience retention. And I've compiled a microhook guide down in the description for you guys to use, for you to take free of charge. You just got to leave your little email down there. You can click that link totally free if you want it. You don't have to take it if you don't want it. See, that wasn't promotional or salesy. It was just, here's an offer through a curiosity gap, giving you value. All right. And then she says, here you go. Ready for bullet point number 2 from Jamie Jackson? The call to action is important because I always like to secretly tell people that the comment section is the liquid gold of LinkedIn. You don't say. If you get people to engage in your comments, it's going to do better for you? No. That's like saying, don't sub for sub. Like, that's not, yeah, we know. We know, Jamie Jackson. So then she says, the way you do that is by inviting people to the party, inviting them to the table after you've created that video, asking them to share in the comments things that they have learned. What? Guys, like, what the freak is happening here? This is insane. Listen, engagement, getting people to comment is a very important part of videos. I want to hear from you. Is LinkedIn going to be the next TikTok? Leave it down in the comments. And if not, what do you think could take over TikTok? Is it going to be Shorts? Is it going to be Instagram? Is it going to be Facebook? Or is there going to be like Blue Sky that's going to pop out? Or X that's going to like explode? Explode. Nice. Now, here is arguably hands down. And then I'm gonna show you some posts that I actually did an experiment. I'm gonna show you a video post that I did the other day, so that you can see my results from it. But here's the crux of everything. LinkedIn has been around. It's been established. It's built a base following. There's a lot of users on LinkedIn, and it has a foothold. So can LinkedIn shift? That's the question. Can LinkedIn shift and be more creator friendly? They don't currently have a creator program where you can make money from it. So right now, the only reason to be posting on LinkedIn is to get leads to your business or brand endorsements, brand deals, right? But here's the crux. LinkedIn is much less saturated, and that means it's an opportunity to build audiences. So the question is, if you're a content creator, pretend it's like you're a guy who's looking to go buy a Lexus. If you go to a Chevy dealership looking for a Lexus, are you going to find a Lexus there? Maybe something used, but you're generally not going to have somebody who's like an expert of Lexus. You go to a Lexus dealership with LinkedIn, even if there's 1,000 cars and a whole bunch of opportunity to buy cars, you're not going to go to the Chevy dealership looking for a Lexus. You're going to go to a Lexus dealership looking for a Lexus. So the question is even though it's less saturated than other social platforms, is it the right fit for you? That's the question that you got to ask yourself. All right, let me show you my experiment. Here's my experiment. Okay, so I made this video 1 day ago. I gave ChatGPT $5 and told it to double my money all the way to $1 million. Let me just play it for you so you can see. I gave ChatGPT $5 and told it to double it all the way up to $1 million. Here's what it told me to do.
Your first task is to buy a product you can resell at a higher price and go with something like a pack of bottled water.
Well, I guess I'm flipping water bottles. First, I made a sign and danced on a corner. Most people thought I was a hobo and kept on driving. Even my daughter couldn't get him to stop. But we got a $1 donation. Then I got thirsty, and so I took a drink. Actually, I have 2 water bottles. And then I accidentally ran one over. And I told ChatGPT that we didn't sell anything. I looked like a fool, and nobody bought them. And that's when the boss said this.
Let's create an online offer for your water bottles. Each bottle comes with a custom ChatGPT autograph.
Well, guess what? I posted online, and the orders started coming in fast. And then this happened. A complete stranger offered to buy all of the remaining water bottles for $69.420. That's a weird number. Click follow to see how ChatGPT is going to double my profits all the way to $1 million.
I'm doing a mobile skateboarding mowing the lawn service. Interested?
All right, this video got 294 impressions. Let me show you the analytics. On the analytics side, it got 115 views. The same video has gotten 5,000 views on Instagram and on TikTok it's got 800 views on a new TikTok account. I've got 3,669 followers on LinkedIn, and generally I'm getting 500 to 600 impressions per post. So this wasn't really anything that stood out to me as like, hey, this is doing better. One area where it did do better was here. The average watch time is 28 seconds, which is massive. On Instagram, it's 14 seconds. So this is double the average watch time from Instagram on LinkedIn. And I actually kind of like that. Now, is this going to move the needle for me? Am I going to all of a sudden start becoming a LinkedIn content creator? Probably not right now. I'm going to continue creating content for YouTube and Instagram, probably continue to migrate some of that content over to LinkedIn to maintain some progress and growth and consistency. But I'm not interested in becoming a full-fledged LinkedIn influencer until LinkedIn makes it a little bit better, more enticing for me to want to be a creator over there. And as of right now, they got a long way to go. So is LinkedIn going to be the next TikTok? No, it's not. Not going to happen. Sorry. All right, if you guys like this video and you want to watch another one, check out this one right here. It was a good one.